Hello everybody, and welcome to the last episode for this semester. This is The Buzz, your source for campus news and entertainment. I'm Chase Johnston, your campus news host, and joining me later in the show, Andrew Sloboda and Lindsay Stanger will both give us the breakdown as our entertainment hosts. We'll be talking about what's happened around campus these past 2 weeks, along with what's happened in Hollywood and the passing of a legend. Stay tuned, you're watching The Buzz.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Welcome back to The Buzz, and here's what happened on campus these past 2 weeks. On Wednesday, November the 14th, Aladdin Food Services hosted their annual Thanksgiving dinner in the CAF. For more on this tasty story, we'll turn to Ian Popovich.
The season for Thanksgiving was upon us last week, as students gathered outside the cafeteria for a great Thanksgiving Day feast before heading out for the holidays. Before the dinner was served, though, one of the alumni who came back for the event mentioned to the students about the Day of Giving and how important it is to give to those in need.
As Kelly said, a brief announcement in regards to, you may have heard tomorrow is our third annual Day of Giving on campus as well. So we want to make sure that you as the students have the first opportunity.
Teachers and staff then came to serve students, and everyone was thrilled. Students left with full bellies and satisfied demeanors. I'm Ian Popovich reporting for WCTV, Channel 14 News.
Moving into last week, on Tuesday, November 19th, the Student Activities Board hosted a coffee house in the Beehive and had a special appearance with a country duo, the Hobbs Sisters. For more on this story, we'll go to Ian Popovich.
The Beehive was jolting with energy for the annual Noon Tunes event. Noon Tunes is an event hosted by the Student Activities Board that allows everyone on campus to relax with hot or cold drinks like coffee or tea, as well as assorted snacks. Students that attended the event were happy to have a place to study, do classwork, or listen to music. The musical performance was done by the duet duo, the Hobbs Sisters, and had a lot of great songs to perform. At the end, students were happy to have a fun-filled night. I'm Ian Popovich, reporting for WCTV, Channel 14 News.
And that's all that happened these past 2 weeks here on campus. Coming up next, Andrew Sloboda and Lindsay Stanger will have your entertainment report. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Buzz.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello and welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Andrew Sloboda.
And I'm Lindsay Stinger.
And this is your entertainment update. News outlets broke on November 12th that the incredible Stan Lee, known for the creation of many Marvel superheroes and characters such as the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers, and Spider-Man, passed away at the age of 95. Fans and celebrities alike took to social media to mourn the loss of a great man and inspiration to many. Tom Holland, the most recent actor to play Spider-Man, said, quote, "How many millions of us are indebted to this guy? None more so than me. The father of Marvel has made so many people incredibly happy. What a life and what a thing to have achieved. Rest in peace, Stan," end quote.
Pete Davidson has been in the news quite a bit lately, whether it was from his remark mocking his failed engagement to pop star Ariana Grande, and if that wasn't enough, he made yet another less than desirable decision, and the public has lost their minds over it. Earlier this month, SNL comedian made out a remark about a war hero, Dan Crenshaw. Making fun of veterans is always a touchy subject, but as expected, he took it a little too far. The show received so much backlash that Pete was asked to publicly apologize to the veteran, and boy did he get Pete back. During the apology, Dan's phone began to go off and his ringtone was none other than one of Ariana Grande's newest hits, Still Breathing. Well played, Lieutenant, well played.
In the world of movies, many new trailers and teasers came out recently. Disney's live-action Dumbo released a new feature-length trailer. In this trailer, we finally get a look at all of the characters, the circus, and of course, the main elephant himself, Dumbo. The movie is slated to release in 2019, March 29th. Disney Pixar also released not one, but two trailers for the long-awaited Toy Story 4. In these two teasers, we don't know any new information. But there is a couple new characters, and in all honesty though, we're all just very excited to see any kind of new content. That teaser definitely got me hyped. The sequel to Harry Potter, the anthology film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, has the lowest ratings in Harry Potter ever. The Crimes of Grindelwald is currently in theaters and is speculated to have the lowest box office ratings in the entire series, with a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 2 out of 4 on Roger Ebert, and an 8 out of 10 on IGN. Finally, a surprise teaser was announced this week as Reese Witherspoon took to Instagram to show that Legally Blonde 3 is officially in the works. Assuming she takes on the role as lead Elle Woods yet again, no other new information is really known at this point.
Thank you. Next, Ariana Grande has done it again. Her clapback to ex-fiance's SNL public mockery of their engagement has turned into yet another hit single. The song calls out ex-boyfriends by name and thanks them for all the lessons that they have taught her, ultimately making her a better person. This may have started out as a coping mechanism to failed engagement, but now there is not a single female out there who hasn't made this their Instagram caption.
And that's all the news we have for you.
When we come back, we will discuss all the information that you just heard. Stay tuned.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to The Buzz, and now Andrew, Lindsay, and I will discuss the topics you just heard. Now, Andrew, earlier this week we had Marvel's creator, Stan Lee, die on us, and it's just such a sad time to see something like that happen.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's a huge, I mean, it wasn't really a shock.
He's 95 years old.
I'll say he's
like,
95
he lived a good
years
life.
old.
He lived a good life.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It wasn't like, you see a lot of people, like especially rappers and music artists nowadays, like overdosing or getting shot down or whatever. Like, he lived a full life, you know? And him and his wife both died, like, at an old age. She died like 2 or 3 years ago.
It's refreshing to see someone famous die of an actual natural cause instead of something either psychological or like medicated induced or like a shot. Like it's nice.
It's just, it's
not
still
that anyone
sad.
dying is a nice thing, but it's refreshing.
No, yeah, it is. It's nice to see that that's how he died. It's just tragic because there's a lot of people, myself included, that kind of, I don't know, that was my man, you know? Like, all those people those characters that he created, like...
He's a genius.
Made me the man I am today. And he's an innovator. Like, he was. Yeah. There's, like, people are not going to be the same because
honestly,
of
he reminds me a lot of,
did.
like, Walt Disney.
Yeah,
like, he could definitely be modern-day Walt Disney, but...
Was.
And, I mean, we talked about this, a lot of celebrities reached out to social media, especially Tom Holland.
Yeah, there's a bunch. That sounds like weird, but I've watched like a bunch of compilations of like different like people and what they said about him. Like Robert Downey Jr. reached out, Chris Evans reached out, like all the main characters and like even like sub characters reached out, and a lot of them like had the opportunity to like meet him, even if it was just once, and they all said it was like incredible and he was an awesome guy. So that's really cool to know too. Like, you know, sometimes like when you're like, man, like I'd love to meet that person, you find out like they're a terrible human being, and you're like, wow, okay, never mind, I don't want to meet them. Like, everything I've heard about Stan Lee, they're all like, no, he was incredible. He was so funny and, like, fun to be around. He just had, like, this good vibe. And I'm like, oh. But, yeah, no. It's just all, like, it's sad, but it's, like, a good, like, it wasn't bad.
You don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like it's a death of a legend, but at the same time, it's like, you know what, he's good. Like, he did what he wanted. He did what he came here to do, and now he's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Which do you guys think there's gonna be like more like imitators of him? Like, do you think they're still going to try to make more characters, or you just think they're just going to let it
They're
die with
creating new
him?
characters and like things like that all the time. Of course, there's going to be people riding on that dead horse like long after.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think anyone can ever do it.
The same. It won't. It just
Like
can't be
there's
the
just
same.
like there's just so many like different like genres that you can like innovate in, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to, like it's like Walt Disney. You know, Walt Disney created something special. Like Stanley created something special, but you can't exactly like duplicate that.
Yeah, I mean, you just, like you said, you can't. They can't. Nobody else can do it. Now, Lindsay, Pete Davidson. I mean, just so many things.
I know
He's
you're fired up on this.
constantly,
It's my man.
constantly in the news about things. But I mean, the Ariana Grande thing. Then he made some remarks about a war hero. I mean, it's
Okay,
just
so
all
first
over
of
the
all,
place.
did anyone really even know who Davidson was until he got proposed to, or until he proposed to Ariana Grande? I don't think so. But ever since, ever
We
since.
did. I just knew him on SNL. That was
Yeah,
it.
that's the only thing we knew.
I never knew
What?
who he was. No.
For real?
But now he's like my favorite human ever, and I watch all the videos of him. He cracks me up. And in the video of the guy, like the veteran coming back, they did one of the skits where it was first impressions, and he said he looked like the guy from Jack Frost movie, and I literally started dying. I was like, oh my god, is it Short? Somebody, Robert Short?
Yeah, and he was on SNL as well, and he's like one of these characters. One of
He's
these people
actually
were
good.
good on SNL, and Pete Davidson was like, yeah, you're right.
I like Loki. I think Davidson is like, kind of like, not exactly the greatest guy, but I think he like
I just
owns
think he
it.
doesn't
Like
take anything too seriously at
he
all.
really
ever.
doesn't. Like someone could literally be so like fired up. Like he got death threats for marrying Ariana Grande, and then he's still like, okay, like cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't care.
I mean, but he did take
I
it.
love it.
He did take it way too far here with this.
He
Talking about a
definitely
veteran and
did.
Making fun of him. It's a
Like,
problem.
I don't think it was like the initial part of him making fun of him, because like obviously someone read the script, saw he was gonna make fun of him, so it wasn't. I think it was at the very end where he said he was a war hero or something like that. That's where I think it took it a little bit too far, just because I mean you can't just like try to hide what this man did for America.
Right.
But.
And I mean, like you said, I mean, I'm personally, I don't think it's
There's
right
just
to
a
have
limit
it.
to everything nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just comedy in different genres.
But-
you know? Some people
Sorry,
can make
continue.
fun, like racist jokes used to be cool. Like, okay,
Yeah.
not cool, but you know what I mean. Like you were allowed to say those
Yeah,
types of
yeah,
things, and
exactly.
now you're not.
Yeah.
So.
But I think he did do a good job with his apology. I also think Dan Crenshaw, Lieutenant, took it very, very well, especially with him coming back and making fun of him. Pete Davidson. Why can I not say his name? But yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, okay, let's talk about some movies here.
There's so much content out nowadays. Like there are some times where I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna talk about? And I like, sometimes I'm just like, all right, like let's look up new trailers. And there's
Always so many.
There's so many, like Dumbo had a new trailer like 2 days ago or something like that, and it broke the internet again.
Are we excited?
Shocked.
Pause. Are we excited for Dumbo? Or are we kind of like, all right, Disney, stop trying to make these real life things. I'm over it.
I mean,
what are
yeah,
we
they
doing?
did the Jungle Book. I think that was the
Jungle
first
Book
one,
was
right? They
That was
did the
actually
Jungle
good,
Book, and they're like, okay, wow, like we can
Maybe
make
we can
all
do
this
this.
success
Yeah.
off of our old
Yeah.
stories. So then they announced like 10 more, right? Like we have Dumbo, we've got Aladdin coming out next year, The Lion King like the year after
Yeah.
that. I think there's another one that just came out or something.
I didn't know.
I think they did Cinderella too.
Oh yeah, they just did Belle.
Yeah, so like there's all these like live action versions of old stories that they're telling and banking on them. So I don't know. Dumbo's a classic, but at the same time I'm like, okay, whatever. Like
I think it's gonna be weird with the effects for Dumbo.
I don't know. Have you
Like,
seen
Yeah,
it?
that-
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the whole story of Dumbo is ridiculous.
weird.
Yeah, true.
It's an elephant who can fly with his ears. Like
I mean, I wish I could.
Hey.
do that.
what?
Yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous thing. Isn't this the original story of the stork, like dropping babies off? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I think. I don't know.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it for a while.
But yeah, so we have that. We have Toy Story 4. Finally, we get to see something for it.
That's going to be very interesting.
I'm over it.
What?
I am over it. They did an outstanding job on the third one. Like, I really feel like this fourth one is going to be a flop.
You're not wrong. They
did so good on the first three. Like, just let it go. Let it go.
No. Well, I agree with you. At the same time, I am also very excited. The way they advertised this movie, I think works really well. It was kind of like the same with Incredibles 2. It took so long for Incredibles 2 to come out that they even started making fun of it, like, in trailers and stuff.
That is true.
Like,
they did make
when you
fun.
go see the movie, like, they had this whole, like, 2-minute
like, sorry,
thing.
it's been
They're
14
like, sorry,
years.
it's been so long, but hope it was worth it. And I think it was. But, yeah, so these new, teasers or whatever, they introduced a couple new characters. 2 of them were played by Key and Peele. And they're just like, oh, my gosh, they're making a Toy Story 4. And the one was like, there's a Toy Story 4? Like, they wrapped it up, and they're like, I guess not, let's go. It was so funny, but, and then what else was there? The last thing
Legally Blonde.
All right, let's talk about
which
Legally
I'm not blonde anymore, but what I was, that was,
Is it even worth it?
was my, I'm sorry, what? Did you really just say, is it worth it? Elle Woods is iconic.
Yeah,
iconic.
the first one was.
The second one was good, too.
Average. Second one was average.
Could have been better, but.
That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, we're going to go back in a little bit of Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande news, Lindsay.
I just love these two. Like, they crack me up. Like, they're just, when they were together, they would come at it, and now they're, like, broken up, so they're still fighting, and it's great. I love it.
I mean, she came with a new song earlier.
The Thank You Next.
Yeah.
I really
broke the internet.
Yes,
literally. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely my Instagram caption as well as my bio. Like, it's fine.
Of course.
I might have tweeted the whole album in different sections. It's fine. I don't care. I have no shame.
It's funny because, like, you see all this, like, a lot nowadays. Artists, like, coming out and making a response to someone else's response. You know, like, this is just the most recent one. Like, we also talked about earlier in the other shows, like MGK and Eminem. Like, that was a thing. Like, that's not something you see a lot of, like, recent, or it's something you see a lot of recently that hasn't been seen before.
I feel like they're really banking on, like, people loving drama. Like,
people
love drama.
Oh, yeah, they do. Everybody
especially when it's
drama.
not your own. I should say that, too. Like, when it's not your own drama, you can watch someone else go through something, and you're like, ha, that's terrible.
But
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
But going back to the song, like, if you guys listen to it, like, apparently all of the boys, or, like, all the men who were mentioned in it by name, which Ariana Grande, holy crap, like, coming for blood. But she, like, they all heard it before it was released. So, one, it wasn't like, oh, my word, like, my name just got dropped in a song, like, they're bashing. And if you listen to it, it's really not bashing. It's more of her just, like, accepting the breakups, accepting what failed and what didn't, and then moving on. Like, I really admire how much, I mean, Ariana Grande's been through some stuff. I mean, her ex-boyfriend, who we all know she was still in love with, like, just died, and then now she's not engaged anymore. Like, it's just, she's been through some stuff. And I really feel like her music is not suffering. I feel like it's growing because of that. But also, a lot of people think that this song isn't that great because it was kind of thrown together. Because, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, maybe a 2-week period. They were like, oh, she just did it because, like, she's relevant now. Like, let me throw out a few more songs. But her new song, Still Breathing, is also on the top 10, top 5, whatever. So it's not, I don't think it's like that. But.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything, like you said, everything that's happened to her in the past few weeks has just been
I'm just
nuts.
shocked with how, like, this girl has not gone through a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, she's famous.
She's probably done it, you just haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
exactly. She
played she's probably really good at hiding it, you know?
She played it
Let's be
smart.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, she also could have had, like, a Britney Spears moment, you know? This would definitely call for a head shaving. I'm just saying. Or if you need to, go ahead. I won't judge you.
We've all been there.
Well, that's all we have for this semester. I'm your campus news host, Chase Johnston.
And I'm Andrew Sloboda.
I'm Lindsay Stinger.
And just remember to keep on buzzing.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.